Hi dear friends, fans, friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram welcoming you to your daily edition of the Cricket Happening show today with the news that India have regained the border Gavaskar trophy in this particular Airtel Test series by actually clinching a win over Australia by 6-wicket margin. In fact, it was a very commendable effort considering the fact that one whole day's play was lost in this particular test match in Mohali, and India marched towards the fourth test in the confidence, not in the confidence that they would be able to actually take sweet revenge over Australia by putting it across them in the fourth and final test, which is going to be starting at the Firozshah Kotla ground in Delhi, and that is going to be played on Friday. So what a moment for India. I mean, they have not only retained, so now whatever little chances Australia had with the captain Michael Clarke at the helm to actually at least win this particular test match and keep the series alive. Not only that, and also even for Australia, even if they had drawn the series, they would have gone 2-2 and they would have actually regained the border Gavaskar trophy. But on the other hand, it's simply been reversed by India now, with India regaining the border Gavaskar trophy, and after quite a long time, after a long time span, India have actually got 3 wins on the trot against a visiting team. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about that match, and that ended in a match which ended in the last hour of play, with Dhoni reeling off 3 quick boundaries of 3 consecutive balls to finish the match in absolute style, with getting a 6-wicket victory for Team India. Now, the other match that I would be liking to talk about is Bangladesh versus Sri Lanka, which is definitely leading to a result right now, because what Sri Lanka did is Sri Lanka took a lead of 106 runs in the first innings, and they had Bangladesh really struggling with some very I would say senseless strokes played by the Bangladeshi batsmen after being well settled, especially Jarul Islam, the opener, which I'll talk about, and they find themselves 52 runs ahead with 6 wickets remaining. So 2 more days to go, and this also looks to be definitely a result-oriented match which is going to come through. Well, so first I'm going to start off with the Indian victory at Mohali in Punjab, in Chandigarh. This was the 3rd test of the Airtel Test series. Australia replied to India's, in fact, as you know, Australia were needing 16 runs yesterday to wipe out the deficit, which they definitely did with their night watchman Nathan Lyon, and the adherent was Phil Hughes. But Australia, what was good about Australians' effort? Well, Australia were all out, but it was a bit surprising that Bhuvneshwar Kumar, after dealing all the early blows, was not brought on at all. I mean, one would have expected the Bhuvneshwar Kumar to actually bowl, because in the morning there's some dew factor too, but Dhoni had other ideas. In fact, he gave the new ball to Ishant Sharma, and he had the spinners at the other end, which was pretty surprising, because I think bowler's confidence, you could do a world of good for the question. I know that Dhoni is a good captain, not taking away anything from him, because he really susses up the situation very well. But this is my personal opinion, that probably to actually give the bowler sort of more confidence, and especially being a new ball bowler after taking 3 wickets, I'm sure Bhuvneshwar Kumar would have expected that new cherry to be in his hand, at least in the 2nd over. And this is as also I would like to mention, that is one of my subscribers actually raised this issue of Bhuvneshwar Kumar the other day being underbowled. I think now I have to really bluntly agree with that. But the only person who can actually provide us the answer could be the Indian captain, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Such a wonderful captain. I mean, we all know the world respects him as a captain, no doubt about it. But Australia, well, they started off with night watchman and Phil Hughes. And I'll just talk about the Australian innings here. They really settled down. They really tried to occupy the crease. Tried to play as much time as possible, because yesterday was the final day, and it was not going to be easy for India. But unless and the ball really turned square, but nothing of that sort was happening. But there were lots of footmarks outside the stumps. As you know, just in front of the stumps. So, but what was good about it was the Australian effort. It was a pretty determined effort. They came with a lot of determination in this particular test match, even though they had lots of problems to contend with, as you know, with the four players being actually sent back for indiscipline, or not being considered for indiscipline. But what was good about it was a very determined effort from Australia. Despite scoring 400, they lost the match. That is not something which one should read into, but look at the way they battled. They battled hard for that. They were all out for 223. Phil Hughes was the one who didn't have much to score in the scoring areas yesterday, because he just added another 16 runs to his overnight score of 69, because the bowlers basically didn't give anything in Phil Hughes off. Like, they didn't give anything, they didn't bowl short outside the off stump, they didn't give any width outside the off stump for Phil Hughes to actually execute the cut shot, and he was the highest scorer with 69, with 11 fours and 1 6. Nathan Lyon stayed there, played some very good strokes, contributing 18 with 3 boundaries. Michael Clarke, well, I would say Michael Clarke, it was very unlucky and very unfortunate. Michael Clarke, at least one was happy to see Michael Clarke coming, but it was surely a very difficult thing for Michael Clarke to do as a captain. But as you know, he's a great fighter and he's a great team man, and that's what he did. He came out, even though he had a poor back, he came there, battled it out, eked out 18 runs of 49 balls with 3 fours. But then he was a victim, but it was probably a doubtful decision, as he was caught by Pujara of the bowling of Ravindra Jadeja for 18 with 3 fours. But Michael Clarke, probably if he would have been fully fit, probably, you know, this Australian score might have improved. One does not know, and India might not have won. We never know about it. But as I said, Michael Clarke, even though because of his back problem, one could see that his strokes were really, he had to really curb his the stroke making, because as you know, back plays a very big role, and he had a problem with the lower back. So when you and with spinners, you have to really stretch yourself, so the back really comes into the picture. So it is very sad to see Michael Clarke really struggling with his poor back, and that was the reason he was out for 18. Brad Haddin, he did well. He played some very attractive strokes in his score of 30 with 5 fours. But Ashwin's carom ball had the better of Haddin, as Brad Haddin couldn't really spot it out, and he was out. LBW bowled Ashwin for 30. Moises Henriques was brilliantly caught by Jadeja, even though Jadeja actually caught it on his natural hand, his left hand. But Moises Henriques had actually hit it with tremendous power it was hit on the actually hit on the offside, and I thought Ravindra Jadeja picked up a brilliant catch. It was his own catch. He caught and bowled Moises Henriques for 2. Peter Siddle, he stayed there. He dealt some quick blows, hitting 13 of 13 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. He was castled by Oja for 13. But after that, from 179 for 9, when Brad Haddin departed, they still had a long way to go there. But what was good about it, as I said, the effort of the Australians have to be commended. Mitchell Starc and Xavier Doherty really stuck it out there. Look at it, Mitchell Starc, after making 99, contributed 35 runs, but see how many balls he occupied. He occupied 100 balls to hit 35 runs. And Doherty had an unbeaten 18 to his name with 4 boundaries. But Mitchell Starc's wicket was taken by Jadeja, as he was caught by Ashwin of the bowling of Jadeja for 35. And 223 all out Australia, thus setting India a target of it was almost 34 odd runs to actually win the match for India. Bowling figures, 3 for 31 for Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Ishan Sharma none for 34, Ashwin 2 for 72, 3 for 35 for Ravindra Jadeja, and 2 for 46 for Pragyan Oja. So as I have to also cover the Sri Lanka and Bangladesh match, I'm just going to do a quick round of the Indian innings. Well, India started off, let me tell you, the Australian bowlers really made India work for the runs, because the time was a factor here, but again the target was 133 runs, and India had to really work hard. In fact, they picked up the victory only in the last hour, but definitely I would say made some a real heavy weather out of it. Everyone contributed because everyone wanted to get it quick. Murli Vijay contributed 26 of 33 balls with 5 fours. Pujara made 28 of 51 balls with 5 fours. Kohli contributed 34 of 61 balls with 6 fours. Tendulkar was brilliantly run out by David Warner for 21 with 2 boundaries. But after that, that was the time when India were 42 for 1, 70 for 2. It became 103 for 3 when Kohli departed, 116 for 4 when Tendulkar departed. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the captain, got the company of Jadeja. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni, what he did, he didn't waste any time. In fact, he just waited till such time Tendulkar was there. He was only trying to take the singles. But once Tendulkar's wicket was gone, Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided that this is the time to wield the long handle and finish the match off as quickly as possible. And that's what precisely Mahendra Singh Dhoni did. He had the company of Ravindra Jadeja, who slammed 2 fours in his unbeaten 8 of 5 balls with 2 fours. But Mahendra Singh Dhoni finishing off the match in style by leaving nothing away to the Australians, by hitting Mitchell Starc for 3 consecutive boundaries. The first one was put over extra cover for a boundary. The next one, Dhoni walked out and flicked Mitchell Starc through square leg for a boundary. And the last one was pulled mercilessly by Mahendra Singh Dhoni into the wickets for a boundary, and that was all over. Dhoni was not out on 18 of 28 balls with 3 fours. 136 for 4 was the final Indian score. India had won the match by 6 wickets. Mitchell Starc 10.3 overs, 1 minute, none for 51, 1 for 34 for Siddle, 1 for 27 for Lyon, and Doherty 1 for 24. Well, India regained the Border Gavaskar Trophy, winning the 3rd test and also taking a 3-0 lead, unassailable 3-0 lead in this test series. Well, the man of the match, there's no prizes for guessing. It was Shikhar Dhawan of India to have gone on to a world record of making the fastest century on a test debut by any player in the world. And what a debut! But I'm told that Shikhar Dhawan is a very, very doubtful starter as far as the 4th test is concerned, which is very sad. And the good news for Australia is that Shane Watson is returning back to the Australian team, definitely, I suppose, for the 4th test. Well, 4th and final test. Well, I'm just leaving from here, and I have only 5 minutes left on my YouTube broadcast, so let me just skim through it here. As this was day 3. And the match is absolutely well poised right now. Sri Lanka made 346, taking they took a 106 run lead in the first innings with Kumar Sangakkara making 139 with 11 fours. A very doubtful decision. That the ball really struck his bat, but he was given out. Kulashekara making 22, 3 to Herat, 15 to Iranga, Lakmal not out or not. 346 all out was the final tally for the Sri Lankans. And so after taking the 116, Bangladesh in the second innings, they started off well. They put up a good opening partnership with Tamim Iqbal playing some very wonderful strokes through point region, and then Tamim Iqbal and Jarul Islam, both of them lofting Rangana Herath for 1-6 apiece in a single over of Rangana Herath. But this opening partnership was looking good. It was blossoming. But that was the time Tamim Iqbal was gone. It was clean bowled with Shaminder Ranga for 59 with 4 fours and 1 6. After that, Mohammad Ashraful tried to play a ball from his crease, but he was gone as he was clean bowled by Herat for 4. That made the score 96 for 2. Jarul Islam was joined by Mominul Haq, and then both of them eschewed their strokes and started playing for safety. But it was all going on unless this happened. When Jarul Islam, just before close of play, what he did, a rush of blood, trying to swipe Rangana Herath into cow corner, missed the ball completely. Chandimal behind the stumps stumped him for 48 with 1 4 and 1 6. Very senseless stroke under the circumstances from Jarul Islam. He also missed his first 50 in Test cricket. His maiden 50 in Test cricket, as he was out for 48. After doing all the good work for Bangladesh, he really muffed it up there. And then the next batsman to fall was Mahmudullah. Actually got a ball which turned across the face of his bat and went on to hit the stumps, and Mahmudullah was gone. Clean bowled by Herat for duck of the very ball he faced after Jarul Islam was dismissed. And that made the Bangladesh score, which was looking a bit better at 196 for 2 when Mohammad Ashraful departed. Suddenly they were 143 for 2 at one stage, and at close they ended up with 158 for 4 with Mominul Haq not out on 36 for 2 fours. Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain, not out on 7. They are 52 runs ahead, right now. And as I say, we are heading into the 4th day, and this is definitely a result-oriented match unless and until rain plays a spoil sport. The chief wicket taker being Ragana Herath, 23 overs 7 maidens, 45 runs and 3 wickets. So 158 for 4. Bangladesh go into the 4th day with 52 runs ahead, and I'm sure Sri Lanka would like to do something very quickly tomorrow. And Mushfiqur Rahim, the captain, has to really get some good support from Mominul Haq if they could actually push it on and then probably drag it to the 5th day. Otherwise, it's quite possible that we might have a result tomorrow itself. Well, as you know, the outfield is not so fast too, so one might see a result tomorrow itself. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this note, your host Ram would like to end this cricket show for today. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings, and congratulations to India on retaining the Border Gavaskar trophy in this Airtel Test Series. And that's it from me. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.